Hi children, this is your Molly sir once again. Today we are going to deal with a very complex issue or complex matter relating to biology about the human nervous system. See, you might have watched so many matches, the football match, the cricket match on television, or else you might have played in the ground. You require one captain, is it? The function of this captain is to control and to coordinate the efforts of all the players. Just like that, in our body, there are several systems working independently to maintain or to sustain life in this body. But it requires one system to coordinate all these other systems, other organs. So here, the importance of this system is outlined. It is the most important and a vital system in our body that controls and coordinates all the other systems. It is none other than the nervous system. A nerve is said to be a conductor. It is just like an electrical wire. So where it converges, it is the center of activity, nerve activity or neuronic activity. So let us talk about the details of human nervous system. Firstly, we shall discuss about the classification of human nervous system. The classification of human nervous system is as follows. It is divided broadly into three divisions: the central nervous system, the peripheral nervous system, and the autonomous nervous system. The central nervous system, it includes brain and spinal cord. The peripheral nervous system includes cranial nerves and spinal nerves. Autonomous nervous system includes sympathetic nervous system and parasympathetic nervous system. Let us talk about all these in the next video, because here I need to concentrate on the most vital organ of our body, the brain, which is a part of the central nervous system. The most important organ which controls and coordinates all the activities in human body is the brain. Brain is located in the head of human being in a bony box called as cranium. This cranium lodges the brain inside. Brain is made up of glial cells and neurons. Some billions of neurons and glial cells make up the brain. 60% of human brain is nothing but fat. It is the most fatty organ in our body. Moreover, the tissue of brain is very soft. It weighs about 1370 grams in adult male and 1200 grams on an average in a female human being. It occupies 2% of the total body weight of the individual. Then let us talk about the external features of human brain. Human brain, as you see, is covered by three layers called as meninges. A three-layered membrane called as the meninges surround the brain. They offer a lot of protection to the brain. The brain on its external surface shows some elevations and some depressions, the ridges and the grooves. The ridges or the elevations are called as gyri, and the grooves or depressions are called as sulci. Singular is sulcus and the plural is sulci. Now, these increase the surface area of the brain to accommodate more number of neurons. It is quite interesting to note that in a person in whom the number of neurons are more, he is said to be more intelligent, as the studies reveal. For example, Mokshagundam Visvesvaraya, the eminent engineer from India, who could predict a lot of intelligent decisions, who could make so many decisions. And Albert Einstein, the world's best IQ person ever born on this planet, the most intelligent person. His brain had a lot of gyri and sulci, as reported by the international science institutes. Then researchers reveal that Human brain is said to be the highest evolved organ in the animal kingdom itself. No other organ in any animal can match with the human brain. This is the capacity of human brain. Human brain, actually to say, is an incredible machine. It's the best organ that we can see. Now, human brain is surrounded by three-layered membrane. Just now I said the meninges. They are called as pia mater, arachnoid membrane and dura mater. I repeat once again, pia mater, arachnoid membrane and dura mater. In between these three layers, we find some space. This space is called as subdural space. Subdural space encloses the cerebrospinal fluid in it, which offers mechanical protection to the soft organ called as brain. So the brain is protected by means of three meninges which envelop cerebrospinal fluid. This cerebrospinal fluid will be running all along the brain into the spinal cord and back from the spinal cord into the brain once again. It is regularly circulated, constantly moving from brain into the spinal cord and from spinal cord into the brain once again. Actually to say, spinal cord is the continuation of brain into the trunk of the human body. Brain is present in the head, in the anterior region, and the spinal cord descends down as the continuation of the brain into the trunk until the waist. So, this is with respect to the external features of the brain. Now let us talk about the color of brain. The external surface of the brain appears to be grayish in its color because of the presence of nasal granules in the cyton of the neuron. All the neurons which are present in the brain will be seen exposing their cyton on the external surface of the brain, making it appear grayish in color. So it is called as gray matter. So the brain consists of gray matter on its outer surface, whereas white color inside, the white matter, that means the axons of these neurons lie towards the inner side of the brain. These are covered by means of sheath, the myelin sheath, that offers protection, that prevents the leakage of the impulses, the electric impulses. So naturally the white matter is present inside the brain towards the inner surface, and towards the outer surface it is gray in its color. So the gyri and sulci, they increase the surface area, just now I said. And now let us talk about the regions of the brain. The brain has got three major zones. For easy study, we consider three zones of the brain: the forebrain, the midbrain and the hindbrain. The forebrain is also called as cerebrum, the midbrain, and the hindbrain, which is otherwise called as cerebellum. The cerebrum is the biggest part of the brain, the forebrain. Again, this cerebrum is divided into two halves, equal hemispheres, by means of a median longitudinal groove at the center. This median longitudinal groove divides the brain, the cerebrum, into left cerebral hemisphere and right cerebral hemisphere. Research has revealed that the organs located on the right side are being controlled by the centers in the left cerebral hemisphere, and the organs that are lying on the left side are being controlled by the centers, neuronic centers, in the right cerebral hemisphere. Moreover, the brain, that is the cerebrum, is said to be the seat of intelligence. Let us explore more details about the beautiful organ called as brain now. The cerebrum, that is the forebrain, it is again divided into four zones. Both the cerebral hemispheres are divided into four zones each. Now, these are the frontal lobe, the parietal lobe, the temporal lobe and the occipital lobe. The frontal lobe lies here in the forehead region. The parietal lobe lies on the upper side of the head region, that is the brain. then the temporal lobes and the occipital lobe. The frontal, the parietal, the temporal and the occipital lobes. These are the four lobes or four zones of the cerebrum. That is the forebrain. The floor of the forebrain is called as hypothalamus. Seen attached to this hypothalamus is a small gland that we have talked earlier in the other video, the endocrine gland called as the pituitary, which is otherwise called as the master gland. Then let's talk about the details of these four lobes, the functioning of these four lobes. The frontal lobe, generally referred to as F. This frontal lobe controls movement of the body. Then the intelligence. Intelligence includes circumspectual knowledge, the way we perceive things. Then behavior. Behavior is altogether a totality of the collection of the information and execution of information according to the time, according to the situation, using the circumspectual knowledge. Then the memory. What all the information that is brought from the surroundings through the sense organs, the brain takes inside this information. Now that's altogether a different story. We will talk about this soon after I complete this. Okay. Then once again, if we talk about the other aspect, the parietal lobe. The parietal lobe is concerned with the maintenance of intelligence, then sensitivity, that is the sensational knowledge, then reasoning capacity, and language and reading capabilities. It is here we need to talk about the importance of parietal lobe. The way we talk, that is the language that we use, then the reading capabilities, the comprehending capacity. After reading, we get to know the meaning of the letters or coding and decoding work of the notations of, or the symbols of any language is done by the parietal lobe. And thirdly, the temporal. It relates to the functioning of speech. How effective you are able to speak out, how clear your words are, and how audible your words are. This is decided by the temporal lobe. Then hearing, the auditory functioning. Then emotions. The emotional behavior of a person is under the control of the temporal lobes in the brain. Then finally, the occipital lobe. This is the most important one, because without the proper functioning of occipital lobe, we lose the vision. The power of vision is lost when occipital lobe doesn't function properly. So, lying at the back side of the head region, the occipital lobe controls the power of vision. So, all these make up the importance of the cerebrum. And to begin with the functioning in a very simple manner with regards to the cerebrum, because it is called seat of intelligence, let us explore one by one let us list out all the functions of cerebrum. Cerebrum collects the data through the sense organs. It stores. So data collection, data storage, data interpretation, then data analysis, then giving examples, illustrations, judging the situation, then censoring, that is very, very important. Certain things which need not be given out are just suppressed inside the brain itself, looking at the situation where the person is present, to whom he is talking and with whom he is communicating. So even the censoring is also done there. Then finally, the capacity to visualize. When we listen to sound, when we even close the eyes and listen to the sound, or else even when we stay calm without listening to any sound, we can just imagine. The power of imagination is due to the power of the cerebrum. Here, if we talk about more and more things of brain, then let us talk about let us summarize all this. Then finally, before summarizing, let's talk about the cerebellum, that is the hindbrain. Cerebellum is the last part of the brain actually to say, that lies in the head region in the cranium. Brain continues to into the trunk as medulla oblongata, and as the spinal cord it runs into the trunk. Before that, the cerebellum is seen just like a flap. This cerebellum is also called as the hindbrain. This controls the balance of the body, the gestures, the postures, how the person talks, how the person walks, how he stands. All these are dictated or controlled by the cerebellum. Then coordination and fine muscle control is brought about by cerebellum. The involuntary muscle contractions and relaxations are just controlled by cerebellum. Most importantly, the inner organs like the lungs or the intestinal muscles, these are controlled by the cerebellum. Now, with regards to the brain stem, the medulla oblongata is comprising of brain stem. Here, pons varolii is another organ that is present at the junction of the medulla oblongata with the spinal cord. Now, little is known about pons varolii. Still researches are going on, and in the years that to come, we may know more about pons varolii. But as of now, let us conclude here. With regards to the other details of cranial nerves and spinal nerves, relating to peripheral nervous system and autonomous nervous system that comprises of sympathetic and parasympathetic nervous systems, let us deal with that in the next video to come. So, I think I have given you ample information regarding the brain. If at all, if something is missing, we shall cover it in the next video. Thank you very much for enjoying my video, and see you again with many more details. This is Mauli signing off for now. Thank you.